You happy?
Yeah.
Sorry. Axl Rose is a bitch.
Yeah. Woo!
I could kick his ass in a fist fight, especially how he looks right now. Speaking of celebrities, I was having a conversation with someone the other day. It's like, at what age? I'm 35. I'll be 36 in a few weeks. Oh no, time marches on. And I'm not in the greatest shape that I've ever been in. But Mike Tyson is getting older. And I'm curious at what age it would be safe to challenge that man to a fist fight. And I'm pretty sure that getting my ass kicked by an octogenarian is probably going to be pretty embarrassing. I'm pretty sure that that man will be able to whoop my ass at any point that he's alive and I'm alive. That's really embarrassing, and it makes me want to do better. My first job I ever had was at Little Caesars, and I worked with this kid named Howie, and Howie was a metalhead. He had one of them jackets that was all ripped up for no fucking reason, with all the bands on there and shit. You know what I'm talking about. He was a big fan of Pantera, and the lead singer of Pantera, does anybody know who that is? Shout it out.
Phil Anselmo.
No, the dead dude.
Oh, the guitarist.
Yeah. My bad.
Daryl.
Fuck, I don't know who it is.
Dimebag.
It was Dimebag Daryl,
Daryl.
right. And I thought I was a comedian when I was young. And I made a really good joke, and I called him Body Bag Daryl, because he's dead. And Howie punched me in the fucking face, and I deserved it. At the time, I was unhappy, but I look back fondly upon this interaction because it taught me a valuable lesson. Timing's everything, and sometimes you deserve to get punched in the face. I've been single ever since COVID hit. I'm not saying COVID's responsible, but it feels like it's part of the fucking problem. My girlfriend kicked me out of her house after I helped her buy it, which was real nice of her. So I was living in this little apartment across from Sertoma Park, which was really nice. You can cry in the bathtub in peace at night. But at 10 o'clock, the park would close, and I would just walk across the street into the park with my dog, let her off the leash, go wander around. See all sorts of shit in the park in the middle of the night. You're not supposed to be in there, and I feel like the police think that the sign's doing all the work. I ever see homeless people, I'm assuming they're homeless. I don't know why else you'd be digging in the trash in the middle of the night, but I don't want to judge. You know, it's like Benson's flea market, right? One man's trash is another man's treasure. There's probably a use for those dirty diapers. My dog's about 20 pounds soaking wet and 22 pounds dry. I don't fucking know why people say things are soaking wet. And we were walking out there one time, and these couple of deer go shooting by. And my dog suddenly thought she was a fucking wolf. And she's just whoosh. And the grass is all fucking yay high and shit. And I lost my dog for about 30 minutes. And she came back happy as a fucking clam. Her name is Calamity. That's covered in shit and panting. And I was like, ah! I was like, you didn't fucking catch him? What was the point of that? Both of us got exercise that we didn't need. And I would call my mom and talk to her, and I was all sad and depressed. And she's like, you shouldn't go in the park at night. People will murder you. You could get murdered. It's like, do you know what I am? It's like, I'm 6'3" and white and a dude. I don't think I'm not a serial killer's type. I got nothing to worry about. When I was 14, I used to sit in the living room and play video games after school, right? And I'd leave the door unlocked to the house, and my mom would come in and be like, somebody's gonna break in here and kidnap you. I'm like, they would have to ask me politely to get in the fucking trunk to actually kidnap my ass. That's just, you're worrying about the wrong fucking shit. You should be teaching me about protective sex and not to get anybody pregnant at 16. That's what I'm more likely to do statistically. I grew up in the system, which is why I'm a statistic. I was supposed to end up in prison, according to the statistics. So I'm not a big fan of statistics. I had so much sex ed by the time that I was 11 that I knew everything that there was to know about sex and still hadn't had it. And the reason that they were shoving all of this down my throat is because they really don't want poor people to reproduce. So when I was 12 and I went into this mudroom in this group home, and this girl who was very attractive was like, I'd like to kiss you. And I was like, no, not happening. And then I was 12, and then 13, I got slapped for the same reason. I don't know why saying no meant I needed to get slapped, but I suppose I deserved it. Anyway, again, that's probably why I'm single. I'm not good at picking up on hints anymore. I try the dating apps when I'm bored, mostly to remind myself that I'm not the only desperate motherfucker out there. I I don't know. I don't want to talk too much trash about women on dating apps because that seems kind of unfair. They're not here to defend themselves. They're at home with their 3 kids and their 2 baby daddies. And their Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. If I scroll down and you're attractive and the first word is Jesus Christ is my Savior, it's like, that's great, but I don't really want to have a 3-way with a mythical being. I love Jesus. Just not a big fan of his followers these days. I find it highly ironic that the most Christian people in this country think that Donald Trump is their Lord and Savior. And it keeps me up at night. I don't want to hate anybody. I believe in the things I was taught when I was a kid. That America's the greatest nation in the country and the world. See, it's the only country. There's no other ones that exist. The words that are on the Statue of Liberty, bring me your poor, your tired, your huddled masses. I believe in all that shit. And it's weird to me that those same people that immigrated here and then murdered everybody that lived here, right? Yeah. Dylan knows what I'm talking about. 3 generations later, it's been less than 100 years, and suddenly this has always been the white man's land, and we're a Christian country, even though freedom of religion, separation of church and state. I don't understand any of it. I only ever see MAGA hats on 90-year-old people that are going to be dead in 4 years. I'm not sure why the fuck they give a crap about voting. It just doesn't make any sense to me, and I really want to understand. And we've gotten to the point that I think with everything that's going on right now, like Iowa, I'm bringing this up because of Iowa, people still fucking voted for him. The dude's in court for this, that, and the other thing. We'll put aside the porn star. He wasn't in office yet then. I'd fuck a porn star too. I'm not going to, but I could. Shit, if they're going to talk about my dick looking like Mario, then I'm not. It was Toad. But I'm worried, and I agree with Dylan. You need to vote because people are not paying attention. I think they're disinterested, and it's more like social media and nationalism, whatever gets you the most attention. So politics is a lot like football. You have to have a favorite team. Otherwise, you have to have a favorite team. You have to hate the other side. That's how that works. That's all I got to really say about that, yeah. Get on a little tangent about politics. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry, Mother. I promise I'm a Republican. I do a lot of things that you flashed me, didn't you? Yeah. Well, fuck it. We'll end it here. Okay. I wasn't paying attention. I was thinking.